It's time to ask the attorney, and David Gordon is in this morning to answer your questions about car accidents. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Valerie.
It's wet and rainy outside. You probably saw the potential for accidents on your way in.
I'll probably get a lot of calls today.
I bet you will. So be careful out there. Let's start with Renee. On her way to work yesterday, an 18-wheeler flew past her as she was getting off the interstate and threw a rock. That rock hit her windshield and damaged it. Can the trucking company pay for her windshield to be replaced? I always wonder about that.
You know, I think that if you could catch up with the driver,
right,
and talk to the driver about his company, you know, they might pay for it as a gesture of goodwill, but I don't think they're legally obligated because it's not negligence. Remember, in our law, it's only when you fail to exercise reasonable care. Well, the trucker didn't do anything that was negligent that caused that rock to hit.
What if it wasn't covered?
Now if it came off the back of his truck, that's different.
Right. Then
I
he
thought
does.
we were talking about just a stone
18-wheeler, right.
from the pavement.
Okay.
But it's just a gesture of goodwill. That's a claim on your own insurance policy ordinarily.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Richard in Raleigh asked, he's had shoulder surgery after a car crash. He still can't use his left arm. The other driver's insurance company says they only have $50,000. His health insurance company demands reimbursement of more than that. So how's he going to get anything?
Well, it's a good question, but I'll tell you what, Richard, Richard has some power.
Okay.
And his power is that $50,000 doesn't come in until Richard signs a paper. So he needs to negotiate with his insurance company.
His insurance company?
His health insurance company, the one that wants all the money.
Right.
And he needs to tell them, look, we got to share this money.
Right.
I'm not going to sign until you take less than $50,000.
Right.
And they will.
Okay. That's good to know. You have the power, Richard. I hope you haven't signed anything yet. All right. Sharon in East Memphis, because of a crash with a tractor trailer, her husband will never be able to work in construction again. She says his income will probably be cut in half. How should he be compensated for this?
All right, another good question. In a situation like that where a person's income is reduced dramatically, they are entitled to be compensated for the lifetime effect. So probably what they need, now, you know, we're going down the road, they're going to need a lawyer to help them with this, but they're going to need an economist. They're going to need somebody to analyze this man's income.
And his lost wages.
Exactly. Analyze it before he got hurt and after he got hurt and put some numbers on the economic effect to this family. And that's his claim.
Wow. Okay. So think about that.
He has a big claim.
He has a big claim.
He really does.
All right, Sharon. And Aaron in Midtown was injured in a bad crash, taken to the med. Last week, the hospital delivered by certified mail something called a hospital lien for $65,000. What is this? And do they now have a lien on my home? That's scary.
It's a confusing process.
Right.
But the only thing the hospital is doing is they're letting this woman know that if she gets money for her injury from an automobile insurance company, for example, they have their hand in the pie. They want to make sure that they get paid.
Okay.
And they have the right to get up to 1/3 of her settlement.
Okay. Even if it's less than 65 grand.
Exactly. They're only entitled to 1/3 of the settlement.
Will she be liable for the rest of that 65 grand?
Now, that's an excellent question, and the answer is maybe.
Oh, boy.
It's important that she try to get an agreement from the hospital before. That the 1/3 will satisfy the charges, and many times it will.
Everybody's got their hands out.
You know, well, let's just, the med, for example, though, provides a great service to the community.
They do.
The med is a valuable institution here. And so they're treating people regardless of whether they have insurance and running up big charges there. It's a good way for hospitals to be reimbursed something for what they provide.
David Gordon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Here's a number to call directly, 818-4889. And we will be right back.